Hello YouTube, fellow Decidians. I'm doing a character, um, well, will be kind of a corrections to my previous video with the lost chapters, but I'm going to be talking about the characters we'll be getting in the future. Um, so I'm going to start with what we got this month in April. We had Agrius, and then we just got Locke. So that's our April. And as we just know, Barrett and Rosa are coming out in May. My notes. And we're getting Kuja and Quetta's Lost Chapter. In my previous video, when I was kind of following our timeline, Kuja had gotten voted early. And so I was like, we'll be getting him in April. No, we'll be getting him in May. So, oh, and with the title, you're probably like, is it clickbait with level 80? I'll get to that. Then, June, we have Golbez and Kefka's Lost Chapter, Renoa and Lena's Lost Chapter. And July is going to be Lulu with Sephiroth's Lost Chapter, and Lon and Rain, Lilac and Lon and Rain with Sid's Lost Chapter. Then we get to August, my birthday month. So we have Vane, and it's going to be Zach's Lost Chapter. And then we have Fran with Rydia's Lost Chapter. I cannot wait for that one. Vane does term manipulation. I didn't quite state that in the previous video. That is why he kind of remained on top for so long. And Renoa remained on top for probably about 5 to 6 months, and not 4 to 5 months. She was actually up there for like almost 6 months. Then we have Porum. This is the one that starts the 70 meta as far as event characters go. Well, guess what? JP Lost Chapters for May is going to be Golbez and Renoa. We get them in June. They're getting them in May for Lost Chapters. So they'll be getting their reworks, level 70, and an EX+. Sephiroth apparently just got his rework, adjusting Ujang, I think is his YouTube title. And he's showing off Sephiroth's EX Plus and rework. And I'm kind of like, it looks the same. But, moving on, June will be Lulu and Lon and Rain for their Lost Chapter with their 70 and rework. And July will be Vane and Fran with their 70 rework. And then come August, they'll have Porum. So since Porum started 70, does she start level 80? Will 80 come out with Porum? Or will there be an event? Because there had to be I think what happened was they did an 70 Awakening event, which was a raid event, the first raid event against Atlas. And the first batch was like Warrior of Light, Laguna. They brought back Warrior Light's EX. They gave Laguna an EX. And there was a couple other people. So, my question is there going to be an event like they did with the first batch? Or is Porum going to be our first level 80? Could there also be a new ability? Who knows? There's questions. So we'll be getting Porum in September, along with Sonique. Now, our Lost Chapters for September is going to be Alice with Porum and Noctis with Sonique. I know everybody's going to be very happy for September for Noctis. October is Prompto with Alphanod. And the lost chapter is going to be Selfie, which is pictured, and Gilgamesh for Alphanod. Freya is she came out as a chapter, and there was a little event to go with that chapter. I believe she's getting a 70 in rework in May, and a possible EX. If I remember watching the director's letter with Jet. So after October, we have November, Apmau, and Realm, Lost Chapter, and then Charlotta. Now this is where it gets tricky, because Leon is supposed to be the Lost Chapter character, but globally, we got Beatrix before Leon. So, my question is going to be, in November, are we getting Beatrix's Lost Chapter? If we do, which I hear Japan should be getting theirs in June. So we will see what Chaos is going to be like. That is what the Lost Chapter is going to be. It's going to be Chaos, y'all. And we'll see her EX Plus and all that good stuff. So, that is that is November. Then December, we have Garland, and Fang is probably going to get pushed back because it's going to be Leon because of Beatrix. But it was Fang's Lost Chapter, and then Ultimecia was Deuce's Lost Chapter. But for us, it's going to be Leon and Fang. And I cannot wait for Ultimecia. She is definitely the ultimate time queen. Turn manipulation, that EX, giving her 3 turns back to back. Then we have January with Machina, and it'll be Deuce's Lost Chapter if we're putting in Beatrix's Lost Chapter. So that's why it has Agrius, but it could end up being Deuce. Because we're sticking in Beatrix. Then we have Bosch, and then Agrius, where Locke is there. But they had Agrius and then Locke. We're probably going to end up having them pushed back 1. So it'll probably end up being Deuce and then Agrius. February, we have Kimari. And we'll have Locke's Lost Chapter. And then the Emperor will have Barrett's Lost Chapter. I know they have Rosa. Rosa's actually, well, first I'll talk about Barrett first. Barrett's actually pretty decent now with his EX Plus. If you've got it maxed out, he starts with Satellite, so when he attacks, Satellite hits and dealing extra Brave and HP damage, and what HP damage was dealt, he gets that in Brave. So Barrett actually turns out really good, along with Tifa. Tifa is one of the friend units that is being used a lot in Japan. As I said, this is an update, y'all. A lot of things have changed in a month. Because her EX now has Dolphin Blow, which launches. So people bring Tifa in as a friend and do some launching. Rosa, as I stated in my video about the May event and whether or not I'm deciding to keep playing Valkyrie Origins on Atomia. Um, Rosa does become a lot better with her Lost chapter. As I was stating, Quwie uh, calls her an overflow. Um, and even Jet Sturgeon did a detailed character evaluation of her EX Plus and everything of her rework. So you can check out his video. I'm going to leave a link to all the YouTubers that I watched. There's one that's out, Josepher, I think is his name. I've only just started watching some of his stuff. Um, but Jet has a more detailed talk about Rosa and how she now affects Overflow. And I do have to say, I'm wondering if, since like Fran is an Overflow Queen, if maybe they're actually going to start doing like characters that can break the damage limit instead of dealing 99,999 as an HP. If maybe they'll actually go over that, we'll see. So that is us and our lost chapters. As I said, Beatrix kind of threw I wouldn't say a complete wrench, but she did kind of push back some other lost chapters and how they affect events. Um, I'm going to do a couple other discussion videos. I'm going to do one on new summons, and I'm going to do one on new characters. Because in my previous videos, I talked about, I talked about other characters that they could bring in. Well, I've had some new ideas of characters, and I'm going to do a discussion video on some of those. I would like y'all's feedback. Hear about what y'all think. Um, this is the Cydia database. I will leave a link in the description. There is another site that people use, and it's called Ultima. I haven't really used it that much, but when I say like Renoa was up there for months on end as like the top tier unit, that's from Ultima. Ultima gathers data of what units people are using, uh, and for literally like the amount of time, like people, she was up there 5 to 6 months. I believe it was pretty at top 6 months. She lasted all the way to chaos, basically. And I'm going to leave links to some of the YouTubers that I do watch. Quwie, SoulDFFOO, Metzplay, Jet Sturgeon, Malavartcone, Broadway sayien. Shoutouts to all y'all. And I definitely enjoy watching a lot of their stuff. Um, They do a lot of good content. Quwie is hilarious as shit. I'll tell you. He's hilarious. And let's see. Ultimate Effort. I'm reading some of my notes. Um, right. In my previous video, I was like, we could be seeing Ultimate Effort by the end of April, in May. Since we got our calendar and they're trying to get us half off SP for a lot of the basic summons like Ether and stuff, I'm going to say Ultimate Ether is probably going to definitely be in June, like I originally thinking. Now, as I said, they could release it end of May. They have like, they waited on lock till when? The freaking end of April. They started the half off on the summons the end of April. So, Efort could possibly, if they want to, release it early at the end of May. But I think we're probably definitely gonna have to wait until Golbez is released first. So Ultimate Effort could come at the middle of June. And there's gonna be a certain amount of characters that will have super synergy. And it is, I know Vanille, because she gets her EX and death. I can't remember who else though. I do know that Celis makes Eford a laughing stock. Now, you could have actually used Eford or Celis and Shiva. I didn't see that many people using her. Like when people have uploaded videos of Ultimate, I didn't see many that included Celis. Now, with the Chaos Ultimates, I have seen Celis be used. And let's be frank, with Japan, Celis has had her 70 rework, and she's a beast. She drains it all, and she dishes it right back tenfold. So, Ultimate Effort, Shiva came out, I think, like a month after him. I believe Shiva came out a month or 2 months after him. So we could expect either Ultimate Shiva in July or August. But it took a little while for Ultimate Ramu and then Ultimate Leviathan. And Leviathan actually does have Chaos. So they went back and gave Ifrit, Shiva, and Ramu Chaos difficulties. And re-released all three of the characters, Sarah, Vanille, and Cesar, EX pluses. And I think they gave, I know Vanille definitely deals a lot more damage, so I think she had a rework. And that should be about it. As I said, I want to have a couple of videos, more discussion videos on summons and new characters. But I was just wanting to do a more of an update and corrections to the lost chapters from my previous video last month in March. Because I was like, when I was going through and going by global, I was like, yeah, we'll be getting, uh, we had flipped people around globally because we voted on characters to be released early. So, if you want to look at when something is coming, go through the Japanese timeline. And you'll just do 2 characters at a time. So, as we are in May, Barrett, Rosa, June, Golbez, Renoa, etc., etc. And the same for Lost Chapters. You just do 2 at a time. But you're going to have to go back further. Because we're now, May is going to be Kuja, Guedes, and then Kefka and Lena in June. So it kind of evens out how it's supposed to be whenever you look at Kefka was with Golbez, and Lena was with Renoa. Because the Lost Chapter characters have synergy with those event characters to help them get a little more extra time to shine. So that should be it for this video. I don't think it lasted as longer since I'm going to do a separate video on new characters, and I was talking more about new characters, and I was talking about what some characters did in my previous video. I have a little bit more detail on like a lot of the characters coming out, especially like Porum. Porum does a lot of shielding against HP damage. So if you want to, you can go back and listen about that. As far as newer characters, Bosch is like a bigger tank than like a lot of people. But his does affect by HP. Kimari, he's definitely the blue mage. His is his kit's very interesting because he does like Mighty Guard and goes straight into Bad Breath when he has Ronso Rage. So he's like he's a variant. And his is his EX plus, and he actually gave Yuna her EX plus. So those are the two EXs on that banner. His event is annoying because it's a new type of bone dragon, y'all. And it loves to do a lot of debuffs. I mean, a lot of debuffs. It's probably one of the reasons why Yuna is there to Esuna all that crap out. But Emperor, oh my god, he's amazing. His traps and everything. But I do know that in May, they're going to be getting Gao from Final Fantasy VI. They're going to be getting Ignis. And, did somebody say 7 from Type O? I think. Anyway, I can't quite remember. Um, but I do know Gao is coming, and I cannot wait to see what he does. I'm so excited. I like Gao. And you definitely need to see Rabtoon's Final Fantasy VI. Oh god, parody is hilarious. Gao, leap. Oh, let's turn it back. So let's see what Gao does when he leaps and he eats the monster. It's hilarious. Oh god. So it'll be interesting to see what they do because his is kind of like blue magic, but not entirely blue magic. It was just based on the rages of the monster you choose. So he'd also use black magic, white magic, blue magic. He used all types of stuff, but he was a berserk during it. So you don't control Gao. So I can't wait to see what they do with him. So that'll be this video. Thank you all so much for your support and watching. Give me that like and y'all subscribe, hit that bell for notification because I know I do put up some stuff. Mine's been a little slow lately. Um, it's just I also play a few other games. Uh, and I'm currently Brave Exvius. I've definitely stopped. I haven't even logged in for a while. And as I said before, I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep playing the Valkyrie Anatomia. So, but I thank you all for watching so much. It means a lot. Y'all have a great day. Bye, y'all.